If you stepped into this year with a strong desire and determination to go all out with your God-given purpose, yet on the other hand, you feel a little bit anxious, afraid, stressed out, or overwhelmed, you are not alone. When we look around, there is so much surrounding our lives that can put us in that place of fear, stress, and anxiety. However, I do not believe that this purpose-driven walk was designed to constantly keep us out of the peace zone. Why do I say this? Because we've not been given a spirit of fear, but that of power, of love, and of a sound mind. So God cannot design a walk that contradicts his word. Yes, we're going to face trials and tribulations, but we have been promised that in the midst of it all, we will experience peace. How is this possible? Because this is peace that surpasses all human understanding. And so in this 3-part video, I'll be sharing with you 3 practical things I did in January to set myself up for a successful year. A year where I strive to pursue purpose with more inner peace, clarity, and balance. And that's really my desire for you all. Let's make this the year where we are clear on that which we are called to do, and then we don't just talk about it, dream it, plan it, make vision boards, but we actually get it done, but without compromising our principles and our values, and without the crazy burnout that the world is trying to normalize. And so if this resonates with you, then please consider being a part of this community by subscribing to the channel. One of the most important things I did, which I'll be sharing in today's video, is that I took the time to review and reflect on my life's journey in the past year. I know this is the part that we all skip, right? I used to skip this as well, because who has time? We have so much to do. Time is running out. Who has time to stop and take stock? We all have this fear of missing out. Like, if I take out some time to do some introspection, I will miss out. And to make things worse, we're living in a world that expects us to just keep moving. You just had a heartbreak, keep moving. You lost a loved one, keep moving. You just relocated, you got a scary doctor's report, you just had a baby, keep moving. Maybe you just made a huge investment, or your business experienced a big loss and your bank account is still limping, yet everyone expects you to just keep moving. And we often misinterpret this to mean that, we are not giving up. You see, in certain seasons, being still, pushing pause, pulling back is actually what you need in order not to eventually quit, in order to be able to spring back and keep going. You even just hit a milestone, something you've been praying for years. No time to stop, celebrate, give thanks, keep moving. And nobody is saying here that you should bask in former glories forever and not move on. But every now and then, it's important to stop and smell the roses when they finally bloom. Now, I'm not just pouring this on you as somebody who is immune to all of this. I equally have those tendencies to just keep moving. You must have heard that what sinks a boat is not the water around it, but the water that gets inside of it. Actually, the water around it is what makes it float. Some of the storms that you have been through in the past year is what has actually built the resilience, the growth, the maturity, that awareness that you're experiencing right now. That's what is actually keeping your boat afloat. But when we allow those things to begin to seep into our lives, that's when we are distracted, we are blinded, and before we know it, we are off track, or you just find yourself busy, fear of missing out, trying to catch up, and then you are busy going nowhere. So the point here is not that we can eradicate those things around us, but to get the tools to make sure that those doors are locked, the windows are locked, and when they come knocking at the door, they will not be able to come in. If they succeed to seep in, we are able to see it in a timely manner because we are alert, and we are able to, pour that water out of our boat so that we can stay afloat. Now, in order to effectively review and reflect, sometimes some people choose to just go in complete solitude. Some people may pause a few things in their lives so that they can put in more time to think things through. And some people may just keep going, but maybe at a slower pace. It all depends on what works for you. I think my process of reviewing and reflecting started like towards the end of last year, actually, before stepping into January. And one of those things that I decided to pause was YouTube. I'm sorry, but I did not just want to be busy. I was asking myself, am I just chasing productivity or purpose? And even being busy is not productivity. So I decided to revisit my goals. I picked 4 key things which I knew if I start and finish, it will lay a solid foundation for me to build other things. 2 out of these 4 things had to do with this work that I do right here. And by the end of the year, I was able to complete my website in a way that represents what I stand for. I was able to put together this amazing transformative material that I used part of it in my Bloom with Purpose workshop that was in January. By the way, it was a success. I'll be sharing the reviews with you all with time. In this same spirit, I did a 7-day take stock of your life challenge on my Facebook and Instagram stories, and I was so overjoyed by the number of people who checked in every day, asked questions, or just gave me feedback on how this was being a blessing to them. And I actually want to read for you the questions we were able to answer on day 7. After carrying out all the activities from day 1 to 6, it became a lot more easier to answer this question. Am I where I want to be? Am I doing what I want to do? Do I feel like I'm on the right path? Will I continue on this path or move in a different direction? If I were to sum up this year, that is last year, in one word, phrase, or sentence, what would it be? Are you able to describe your year in a word, in a phrase, in a sentence? That kind of clarity and awareness. Knowing where I am now in different areas of my life, what are my desires for the next year? What is the next immediate thing I need to do for each area of my life? How can I leverage my strengths to help me get to where I want to go? And how can I work on my weaknesses that may stand in the way? I'm considering reviewing this challenge, so if that's something you're interested in, do let me know in the comment section below and I'll make it available to you in the next video. Now, how did this exercise set me up for a successful year? It helped me identify my starting point. You see, no matter how specific you put an address, into a GPS, it cannot take you there if it cannot, identify where you are. Because based on your starting point, it will know to tell you to keep going straight or turn left or turn right. But the mistake we make is that sometimes we look at other people's starting point and we think it's our own starting point. Maybe you are in a planting stage and someone else is in a watering stage. If you copy them, you'll be watering an empty pot because there is no seed planted in it yet. So let me ask you, what is your starting point? Where are you right now when it comes to your finances, your health, your career, your spiritual walk, you name it? But note here that it doesn't matter your starting point. As long as you are in the will of God, His purpose for your life will prevail. Understanding your season is more so that you are alert, you are sensitive to the things that God is doing in that season. Another very important benefit of this process is that it helped me to spend a lot of time with God at the beginning of the year, which led to more clarity, renewed strength, and my confidence level was elevated. You see, we cannot do an honest review outside God's word and His presence. We have to review our walk through God's lens, because we live in a world today where we could be making a big fool of ourselves and there will be people to applaud us, and vice versa. So it's important to measure progress through God's lens. See, no matter how good our intentions are, we often stray. We sometimes lose our values, principles, convictions. Why? Because we are sheep. But thank God for the good shepherd who would leave the 99 to come after you. So ensuring that you're walking in the will of God is the surest way to gain and maintain your confidence. Nothing boosts your confidence like knowing that the master of the universe is your pilot. The winds will blow, the storms will come, but He will safely land that plane, be it on water, because the purpose of God in your life will prevail. So I'm very grateful that I was able to do the review, reflection, and some introspection, especially in the place of prayer, be it at a personal level, at the level of the family, and even at the level of the church. You know, our theme this year was on firm foundation, and we got some real good teachings and prayers done at the beginning of the year. And all of this has really kept me motivated and inspired, you know, to continue throughout the year. And please do not think that it's too late to carry out an activity like this. It must not be done in December or January. In fact, reviewing and reflecting is something that we will do continuously throughout the year in order to ensure that, you know, we're still sailing down the right direction. You can make any month of this year your starting point for any goal or anything that you want to do. Now, if you're new and you've been liking it here so far, please consider subscribing to the channel. I would be excited to have you as part of us, and do not forget to hit that notification bell. Remember, we still have 2 more parts to this video and you do not want to miss it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next.